Now, the recent COVID restrictions have helped a lot of us break free from narcissistic relationships and situationships. So many of us, we have been able to discover that we have been entangled with narcissists for years. Why? That is because we have had a chance to spend a good amount of time with these individuals locked up in the same house. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not an exception, because in that particular time, that is exactly when I entangled with a spiritual narcissist, and that is what I'm going to talk about in this video. Let's go. So, good morning, everyone. Good evening and good afternoon to viewers from all walks of life. This is Denzomus, and you're welcome to the channel of truth, enlightenment, freedom, and the channel of breaking empaths free. If you are new on this channel, I talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I talk about spirituality, and I talk about personal and self-growth. And if any of that resonates with you, I invite you guys to join us. Give us a like, share the video with friends, and you may subscribe if you haven't already. And for those that have always been with me, you are welcome back, and I thank you for your love and support. Now, we can always talk about the lesser narcissists, the greater narcissists, the ultra narcissists, with the mid-range narcissists. In whichever way you want to look at it, very little information actually is put out there regarding the spiritual narcissist. Now, a lot of times, those particular spiritual narcissists, it may not happen all the time, but usually those individuals are going to come into your life after you leave one entanglement. So if you have escaped from whether it has been a lesser narcissist or a mid-range narcissist, that is when usually you're going to entangle with a spiritual narcissist. It may usually be both of them. So it could be a greater narcissist and it could also be a spiritual narcissist, because a lot of those individuals, they are advanced in their game. So they have evolved from merely being lesser or mid-range. So they have evolved to become greater narcissists. And eventually, due to their narcissism, they have even added some little bit of some more spices to their narcissism. And they have eventually become spiritual narcissists. But as we talk about spiritual narcissists, we may not also forget to include religious narcissists, because it may somewhere, somehow fall into a similar category, although not necessarily the same. But you see, with the greater narcissist, with the religious narcissist, I have not really met one of them, but I've been following a few people who have met those religious narcissists. So those narcissists, normally, they're the kind of individuals you will see them every Sunday. Let's go to church. They will dress up. Let's go and pray. You know, they are praying during the meals, after the meals. You know, they are kneeling down. They are praying before they go to bed. So those individuals, they like to hide themselves in prayer. You know what I mean? So you may sometimes be with them, and they are going to usually tell you all the little scriptures in the Bible. You know, they are going to tell you the book of St. John. They are going to tell you the book of St. Luke. They are going to tell you what is the Revelation talking about. So they even know how to interpret the Bible. They know all these little details when it comes to religion, because a lot of them, they have also mastered. Not only that, they have also studied religion. So those individuals, it is going to become very difficult for them for you to understand who they are, because normally when you are with a person who is every now and then talking about Jesus, about God, about the gospel, about this, about that, so a lot of times, if you're an empath who is unawakened, you will usually fall for that trap. And before you know it, actually, you are entangled with the religious narcissist in your own bed. And those individuals, they are simply on a very deep and hidden level, actually feeding off of your energy. So for a lot of you guys who are into churches, you know, you go to churches, evangelical churches or whatever, Christian churches, even sometimes you hear them even in the Catholic Church. So there's many churches around the world that are hiding Not are they hiding, but these actually religious narcissists are hiding into those churches, because a lot of them, it is very easy for them to operate when they're being backed up by religion. So you may be with them and they will be usually destroying you bit by bit. So they will abuse you, they will manipulate you, they will gaslight you, they will even cheat on you. Sometimes you've heard about these a lot of these pastors. They're running churches, and then after the churches, they are going ahead to sleep with people's wives. They're asking people's wives to come for prayers. After the prayer, you guys should come. Maybe you're looking for a child, or you can come around. I'll pray for you, and the things like that. Only for you to find out that actually those wives, those particular women, ladies, vulnerable women, who are the followers of those churches, sometimes they are ending up getting pregnant by those same pastors who are actually their leaders in church. So when you talk about narcissism, those guys do not have boundaries. Those guys, they can go they can go to the extra limit. They can go to the extra length, as long as they know that they are not going to be caught. As long as they know that they can always hide into religion, missionary work, the things like that. They are the preachers in the churches. They are telling you everything about religion, about the Bible, about Jesus, and about everything that describes the gospel. So it is up to you, ladies and gentlemen, to get a lot of information about this kind of religious narcissists, because most of the times those individuals, they are destroying you very slowly, bit by bit. Those guys, they are capable of breaking up marriages. So sometimes you may see those evangelists. They are telling you, that man, you're with that man, but the man, God has showed me, the man is not for you. So you need to leave that man, because God has shown me in my dreams, the man is not for you. This and this and this. So sometimes they're even breaking up your own marriages because they want to get your attention, and sometimes to steal you away from your men. So a lot of those guys, you might even sometimes find them, they're into polygamy. Sometimes they have got the wife at home, but at the same time they're into different types of concubines behind the churches. So when you're talking about narcissism, they are very good at hiding in churches. You know what I mean? So that is why exactly you talk about the religious narcissist. Now, me, like I've said, I've done some research myself, but personally, I've not met a religious narcissist. But I know at the end of the day that the game is always going to be the same. It may be sometime happening in a different scenario, but at the end of the day, the game is still going to play out the same for as long as you're involved with a narcissist. Now, I pretty much want to emphasize this video on that particular individual they call the spiritual narcissist. So the spiritual narcissist is also a greater narcissist. A greater narcissist is a person who has evolved from the mid-range, not only from a lesser narcissist, they have already evolved to a mid-range narcissist, where they are kind of getting away of their patterns and everything, of their disorder, so-called disorder. And then from that, they have carried on to evolve and become greater narcissists. So those are the ones that they are fully aware, like they can usually come around and express themselves as real narcissists. You know what I mean? I've seen them online, many of them, they're around there. So they are fully aware of this thing. Some of them, they are going into therapy, help, and things like that. They are trying to help their narcissism for the ones who want to get out. But for the ones who don't want to get out, they are carrying on and accepting, actually, that they are fully narcissists. And they just have to find a way of how to operate with that knowledge and awareness that they are actually narcissists. So those narcissists. So those are the guys who are awakened to the fact that they are fully narcissists. Now, there's a section of those greater narcissists. There's a section of those greater narcissists. I do not know how many are out there. Me personally, I've been blessed, like I've told you guys. I've been entangled with one of them. The greater narcissist is very dangerous. I know you're going to say, yeah, all of them, they are the same. Those lesser ones, they are the mid-range ones, they're all the same. Yes, you may sometimes want to believe that, but I can guarantee you guys from experience, if you have not met a spiritual narcissist, I pray you can ask God, you can ask the universe to bless you, and you will never meet anyone of those kind of individuals, because those are the individuals. They are going to destroy you to a magnitude you never imagined, you have never expected in your entire life. The reason of this is because I noticed normally during that situation, I noticed something. I noticed that the greater narcissist was into spirituality. Now, you know, those days, I had just awakened, so I was trying to find out what had just happened. I'd awakened like a couple of months before, so I was trying to stand out to understand what is this whole thing about spiritual awakening. So I think for some reason, the universe led me towards a greater narcissist, because I told you guys a greater narcissist is an awakened narcissist, but for them they are awakened to their narcissism. You know what I mean? So I'd awakened those days, and the spiritual narcissist actually confirmed as I was speaking about, because you know, like you guys meet in the beginning of those entanglements, you're trying to know each other. You know, you're telling them a little bit of your stories, your history, what happened with your ex, and the things like that. Have you been married before? You know the things that people do, couples do. So we're talking about this situation, and I'm telling this spiritual narcissist that yes, it's true that I have actually unmasked a narcissist. You know what I mean? And eventually, I was telling about my life experiences, what happened in that time, and that spiritual narcissist. That's when they confirmed to me that actually I had spiritually awakened. So that was the spiritual narcissist who confirmed to me that I had gone through a spiritual awakening. So I was experiencing a spiritual awakening. So that is the moment which led me to start really diving deep into this spiritual awakening thing. I really wanted to find out the details. What exactly happens to the person that has awakened, and all these kind of little things. You know what I mean? And then in that time, that spiritual narcissist also told me that you are a very, very beautiful and powerful person, but you do not even know it. Guys, I want you to quote me. I want you to listen very closely to this one. The spiritual narcissist told me, you are a very beautiful and a very powerful person, but you do not even know it. Now in my mind I was thinking, okay, beautiful, powerful, what does that got to do with me? You know what I mean? Because you know, when you're talking about this spiritual narcissist, let me tell you something, chosen ones. Those individuals, they know who you are. Let me tell you, beautiful empaths out there, the spiritual narcissist, even before you start talking, a lot of them, they have already figured out who you are. So they can know on a very spiritual level, they know your strength. They know most likely you are evolving to become a super empath. They know your abilities, they know your powers, they know what you're capable of doing. But most of the times what they do, the very moment you entangle with the spiritual narcissist, the very first thing they do, they are going to do everything in their power to make sure that they shut you down. Now, I want you guys to listen very closely. You have already been shut down by a narcissist before. Yes, you have entangled with them. Maybe you have left them. You guys have been discarded or whatever. So you're out there, you are healing, and then you are thinking about moving on with your life. In a couple of months, it could take 1 or 2 or 3 months. Those spiritual narcissists, they are the bigger ones. So those are the ones, the bigger demons. Those are the ones they are going to send to finish the job. You see, you have already run away from one. You're going to run into another one who is going to appear more powerful than the first one. That is because those particular individuals, I've told you guys already, those individuals, they are sent your way to finish the job. So they will go to work. But you see, the thing is, when it comes to these spiritual narcissists, normally they integrate their... Is that a dog out there? So they integrate their narcissism and they add some more spices to it and they blend it with spirituality. So you will find a lot of them, they're into a lot of spiritual activities. You may sometimes be confused. You see a narcissist, they're telling you, oh, you know, they are awakened, you know, this. Because a lot of times those kind of spiritual narcissists, they get it twisted. So when they're awakened, they know that they're narcissists, you know what I mean? But so what they do now, they are trying to find the spiritual ways and the spiritual mechanisms that they can sometimes get out of this narcissism. You know what I mean? So they are blending their narcissism with spirituality because they believe at some point if they add some spirituality onto it. I remember hearing something from that narcissist. The narcissist told me that, do you know, if I decide to do so, I can open up a very big, I don't know, it was, I can start up a very big business and I can use a lot of people. So the spiritual narcissist was confirming to me that if she wanted to, she would go up and she would be able to suck in a lot of people and open up a very, very huge business, but only aimed at further manipulating people who are actually still asleep. So you see a lot of them, they will be into meditation practices. You know, they will be, oh, let's go and meditate, let's go and you see that's the difference. You see, that's the thing I told you guys. The empath will awaken, but also the narcissist can awaken. So the narcissist awakens to the fact that they are narcissists, but the empath awakens to the fact that they're empaths. So they get a very huge spiritual awakening, and they decide to get out of toxic and negative patterns to become the highest version of themselves. But you see, the narcissist who awakens, they're awakening and they're in shock. So finally, they have been able to realize and to come to that face to face with that realization that they are narcissists. So they are finding a way to probably help themselves, maybe go to therapy or this and this. But at the end of the day, they are actually realizing that this is not something they can get out of. You know what I mean? So what they do now, so what do they do now? They start to blend their narcissism with spirituality. And let me tell you something, that is one of the most dangerous individuals you can ever meet. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not met a spiritual narcissist, I pray for you, and I hope you do not meet one, because those individuals, they are going to destroy you to a magnitude you've never seen before. So the spiritual narcissist, what they do, they first of all want to get into your system. They want to know. First of all, they are very curious about. They know that you are trying to wake up, or most likely you have awakened. So what they do now, they start to do a little background check. They want to know what has been your moves before meeting them. What have you been up to? What have you been going through? So they want to know the little details. So as you're explaining to them that, oh, you know what, I met that person there, they appear to be a narcissist and things like that. So they're taking notes. Now they're trying to figure out where are they going to start to crush you down, because I've told you guys, those are bigger demons. They have been sent your way to finish that job. So they want to know, first of all, who was on that assignment before they came into your life. Who was into that assignment? Who was carrying out that assignment? So that's why you're going to see them. They're trying to find out who was your ex. You know, they may go sometime on their social medias. Sometime if you're lucky, you might actually meet. They might meet that person physically. You know, the ex physically. So they might sometimes want to know which narcissist were you dealing with before you met them. So if they don't get a physical contact with those individuals, they are going to go around on social medias and they are going to try to find out some bit of information. So they will do a little background check on the person that you've been dating before. So they will try to find out who they are, what have they been doing, so what has been their life all about. And then that is exactly when they are going to find out now what exactly do they need to do to get into your system and to put you back to sleep. Because those individuals, they have got one very big aim of putting you back, shutting you down completely back to sleep, because they are aware, first of all, that have awakened. So a person who has awakened, like an empath, they're the people who have awakened to the fact that they have been dealing with narcissism. So what the spiritual narcissist does now, they come into your system, they do some research of the background, they do a background check of what you've been going through over the years and things like that, and at what level. So how aware are you about this whole narcissism thing? So that's why they're going to start twisting the whole games and playing all these manipulation tricks to make sure that they find a way to put you back to sleep. So they are going to do that in a very spiritual manner. A spiritual narcissist is capable of manipulating and altering your perception of things and altering your soul. So those individuals, you may see them sometimes, they may step into your subconscious mind. They may do spiritual practices to step into your subconscious mind. So what do they do by this? So they may sometimes ask you, oh, let's go and do a meditation together. You know, so they may try, because I've told you they're spiritual already. So they have been doing a little bit of these spiritual practices. So they're into spirituality, you know what I mean? So they may ask you to do a meditation together. But you see, the thing is, as you're doing a meditation with these spiritual narcissists, they are actually taking charge of your subconscious mind, because those individuals, they know how to manipulate energy. You may be a person who has awakened. Now you're starting to learn all these little things about energy, how energy works, vibration and frequencies. Those individuals that have already read a couple of books, they are aware of a lot of things. So what they do now, they are able to get into your subconscious mind and they're able to try to manipulate you unconsciously. You may go into a meditation. So I remember one incident. So I used to like those days to go to bed in meditation, you know what I mean? So I would play some certain frequencies as I would go to bed. Now, I remember waking up in one particular morning. Now, we're talking about all these things during the lockdown. So I remember waking up one particular morning. So I'm talking about my dream. And as funny and as weird as it might seem, this spiritual narcissist had also had a similar dream like mine. So we were talking about a certain fruit. Now I'm waking up in the morning. Actually, this was the spiritual narcissist first who was talking about this dream. Now, what are the chances that you go to bed with someone and you guys have got similar dreams? What are the chances that you go to bed with somebody and you dream about the same thing? I want somebody to challenge me out there. I want to leave you guys to leave me a comment down there in the section below. What are the chances you go to bed and you dream about a similar? You guys have a similar dream. That was one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. Those individuals, they are able to alter your energy while you sleep. That is the reason why you see most of the times you will wake up in the morning, you are drained. You do not know what has happened to you. You look as if you have been running 1,000 miles an hour the time you wake up in the morning. You do not have even a little bit of energy. And on the other hand, those individuals, what are they doing? They are jumping up and down all over the place. They are full of energy. So you're looking at two people who went to bed with a similar energy. Now you're waking up in the morning, and one of you is completely drained, and the other one is completely strong, empowered, energetic, and all these kind of things. You know what I mean? So those individuals, they will manipulate your energy, usually unconsciously. So they may do it through meditation, when you guys are doing a meditation, or they may pretend sometimes they are doing a little prayer or whatever it is, or sometimes they can even do it physically, where they will usually do a little bit of spiritual practices, and they will manipulate your energy. So for me, the red flags basically were they came through. It was the dreams. It was the loss of energy in the morning, because I noticed that similar pattern, which had already happened before when I was dealing with the narcissist prayer before that. So I was losing a lot of energy in the morning. So I had to, like, every morning get out of bed and go have long walks in the park and regenerate my energy. You know what I mean? And sometimes they are going to go into a little bit of dark spiritual practices to manipulate your energy. And most of the time they are doing it behind your back. So you may not really know about this. So that's why you see a lot of these spiritual narcissists, sometimes they may also engage into witchcraft practices. You know, they may engage into witchcraft. They may start doing witchcraft and things like that. And again, behind your back. And whatever it is they are doing things to break you down, to feed off of energy, to steal all the energy you have left in your body, and to use that energy to their own advantage. Now, I remember in those days, personally, so the spiritual narcissist was doing some stuff online. And of course, you know, like you guys already know, these individuals, they are empty vessels, so there's nothing going on. You know, they are not, nothing is happening. They had spent a long time doing influential stuff online. But at the end of the day, I'm spending a couple of time with them. It was almost like a couple of weeks. And believe me, guys, in those few days that I'd entangled with the physical, I'm talking about physically, like even for a while, a couple of weeks entangled with that narcissist, that's when the narcissist started going viral. In that particular time when I met the narcissist, ladies and gentlemen, the narcissist went viral. Now, of course, in those days, I didn't take it seriously. But I'm looking back and I'm thinking that actually all these things that they were doing, you know, playing around with energy, doing this and spiritual that, they were actually playing with my energy. And that's the reason why they stole my energy in that time. Now, I've told you guys again, as a chosen one, your energy is, first of all, your energy is contagious. And secondly, your energy also influences and it helps and influences, even sometimes heals the people around you. So most of the times you will see, when you get involved with some people, you may see them sometimes they have got a business they're running. The business just takes off all of a sudden. You may get involved with somebody, you're with them for a while, and then it's like you guys are having a friendship, relationship, or situationship, whatever it is. You are going to see those individuals, whatever they are doing, you are going to notice those individuals, they are going to take off. You could have made them unemployed, they're going to start getting jobs. If they're influencers, they're going to blow off. They're going to blow up. If they're influencers, they are going to they're going to go viral. If they are selling businesses, you are going to see them, they're going to get out of customers. Let me tell you something, chosen ones. There is something you guys do not know about yourself. The very moment you entangle with certain individuals, those individuals, if they are not good people, they are going to steal your energy. They are going to take off. They are going to drain all the energy you have all the energy you have within you. and they're going to abandon you off and run off to the next victim. That's what they do. So it's the reason why I've told you guys, chosen ones, that you always have to make sure that you protect your energy. You have got to do everything in your power to protect your energy. You have got to know who are you sleeping with. You do not just go around there and sleep with anybody because they are looking beautiful, they have got a nice body, you know, he's a guy with the six packs, the muscles and the things like that. On the 5D level, we look at energy. We don't look at your muscles, we don't look at your body, you know, the size of your breasts or the size of your bums or your, you know. We do not care what you look like. We read energy. Chosen ones, you have got to know how to read energy. Always find the good energy that is worth of your presence. So the spiritual narcissists, normally, they will mirror you. Let me tell you something, chosen ones, you will be surprised. That's the reason why a lot of people, they meet this kind of guys, those spiritual narcissists, and they're going to think that they have met their twin flames. Soulmates, twin flames, all of a sudden they are your twin flames. Now, me personally, I can guarantee, personally, I've got that conviction. I have that conviction that it was my twin flame. I'm not so sure about that, but I've got the conviction on a deep level that this person was my twin flame. So it could have been probably that we were supposed to meet to wake up each other. You know what I mean? I could have participated in waking up that spiritual narcissist to a certain degree, because at the end of the day, I think, at the end of the day, during that entanglement, that spiritual narcissist was able to jump onto a path that she had never done before. You know what I mean? So we're talking about a path of doing stuff for herself, you know, developing her life in a way that she never done before. And on my hand as well, on my other side, I also had the chance to awaken definitely to that realization that I was an empath. So probably there's that balance whereby...
Peace, man.
Yeah, peace. So there's that balance whereby people probably... You might find that balance whereby people sometimes they are meeting to awaken each other, you know what I mean? To trigger that awakening in each other. So me, it was just a confirmation. I'd already awakened eventually, but this was a confirmation that actually I had awakened. I'd gone through a spiritual awakening, which I didn't know before. But ladies and gentlemen, I would like to give you information, and I'd like to give you the conviction. Those individuals, if you have not met them, the reason why I'm making this video is for you to be aware that sometime you're going to meet those spiritual narcissists. They're going to mirror you. They're going to tell you all these things about spirituality. They're going to tell you about all these things about religion. They read you the Bible. They will pray to God. They are the pastors in the churches. They are the bishops. But I can guarantee you guys, those individuals, they're harboring different types of demons. You have got to be aware, chosen ones. Be very careful when you're out there. If a person was awakened, I've told you, the most important thing is to remember, do not run into relationships. You have got to take your time and heal, because it is the healing which is going to allow you to have that spirit of discernment. It is the spirit of discernment that is going to be able to protect you when you meet those kind of dangerous ones. Because I've told you, those spiritual narcissists and the greater narcissists, those are the bigger demons. The other smaller ones have failed to persecute their missions. Now they're sending the bigger demons, because you guys have told you are always under attack. It has always happened ever since you was kids, all along your life, but you have got to know you are under attack. So whatever is happening in your life, chosen ones, is spiritual warfare. So there is entities and beings that know your purpose. They know where you're headed. So a lot of times they are going to send the bigger demons. If the smaller ones have failed, your parents have failed, your relationships have failed, your friends have failed to take you down. Yes, they have tried a couple of times. They have failed. They keep on sending the bigger ones, but you have got to know when the bigger ones come in. You have got to know who they are. So you need to read beyond the mask. You know what I mean? You have got to look beyond the mask. You need to be aware. And the only way you can get this kind of discernment is when you have taken the time to heal. That is the only way you're going to have this kind of discernment that is going to be able to protect you everywhere you go. Anybody comes along your path, you will know who they are. You will know their intentions, because now you are able to read people's energy, even before they start to speak. You can already read their energy. You know what I mean? So that being said, chosen ones, I hope this video resonates. You have got to remember, those energy vampires are everywhere. They've been lurking around. They've been lurking around. You need to be aware of them. Protect yourself. And remember that narcissism is real, it's very dangerous, it's very intense. And healing from narcissistic abuse takes a lot of time. So the earlier you embark on your healing journey, is the better for you to become the highest version of yourself. That being said, guys, I hope everything resonates. Leave us a comment in the section below. Let us know what you think about this video. And until then, it's been a blessing to have you guys on board. Much love and blessings. You may donate support to this channel if you want to. Book a session with me if you want to. All the links you need, you will find them in the description section below. And until then, blessing to have you guys on board. Much love and blessings. There's almost signing out. Peace.